a show stating what others hate. Seeking the truth and transparency here on Patriot View
at 1A Independent News.
With your host, Bear Direct.
Hey, what's going on? Patriots, thank you for joining us for this episode of Patriot View at 1A Independent News. We do not have any sponsors. Hang in a second. We do not have any sponsors, so we ask you to help us get you. If you're viewing from Facebook, X, or Truth, you're getting the episode of the day on Rumble. So, when you click on that, click on the image or the link for the video to view the video on Facebook, X, or Truth. You're going directly to Rumble. If you're not signed up for a free Rumble account, we encourage you to sign up for a free Rumble account. Hit the orange and white 1N logo on our episode or Patriot View, and that should take you to our channel. Follow, subscribe to our channel, depending on whether it used to be, depending on whether you were on using a mobile app or you were like on the computer on Rumble. One would say subscribe, one would say follow. I don't know if they've changed it so it says the same thing across the board. But that's why you hear anybody that's been watching for a while hears me all the time say follow or subscribe, depending on what is there. Also share. We are back up on YouTube. YouTube's a slow go. So if you're viewing on YouTube, we encourage you to help us grow it. Let's get those views up. To monetize on YouTube is like some of the Facebook. They make you jump through hoops. Meet all these requirements. Okay, have this many views, have this many followers, have this, have that, blah blah blah, and it's all in numbers. You got to meet all those numbers, all that criteria, before you can even qualify to monetize. So that's what I like about Rumble. Why? Well, then, if you like Rumble so much, why are you on Facebook and X and Truth and YouTube? It's because it gives more exposure. So even if you do find us on YouTube, go over to Rumble. Follow us on Rumble. Sign up for that free Rumble account. Rumble, you just got to have the numbers. We don't have the numbers. That's it. We don't have the numbers to monetize. So what happens is you are generating micro cents a view, so to speak. You have to have thousands and thousands of views per episode. Not go viral, but have thousands or hundreds of views per episode in order to generate any income off it to fund. And that's what we were trying to do, is fund what we're doing off our views. So on our website, I think the website and the email should still be up there. If it's not, it'll be up at the end also. At the end, we're going to give you a way. If you got something to say and you want to share something, we can get that out there for you on our website. Some people don't want to put stuff on their own social media profile because they don't want to be attacked over it. So we're going to give you a way to get something out, but we have some guidelines that have to be met, and we'll explain that at the end also. So we have two ways to support us on our website. Crowdfunding on the bottom of the homepage. So down on the bottom of the homepage, there's a crowdfunding box. Top of all pages on the website, there's a little gift box. That little gift box put up there by our hosting provider. Anything you give to that gift box goes directly to our hosting provider, not to us. To our hosting provider, credits our hosting account. So we fund everything out of my pocket. Have been since day one. And it's been a little hard. We've had to cancel our live streaming platform, which sucks because we could put things up real time. We could live stream to our website. It was great. It just got to cost too much. They raised the when I started it, it was like I don't know, 25 bucks a month. And now it's like, I think almost $100 a month. But they've added a lot of things to it. So once it got to be around 50 bucks, with everything else, we just couldn't do it. You know, we have to adult, and we have other priorities. I have other priorities or priority expenses, and that's called my personal bills, my home household bills. And so, trying to keep all this going without getting a divorce at the same time over finances. So, if you want to help us out, see, because we can do so much more. We can get the studio done. I've been working on that little by little. So we can get the studio done. We can actually sit down in the studio and have a outline to go off. So right now we're script free and we're limited in what we can do. So definitely, if you want to help us out, see where we can go with Proper Sport. A lot of times by now, there people have sponsors, and that's not happening. We're hoping to have a collab with somebody for an affiliate program. I'm gonna have. We're still playing. I'm still playing tag with them, where it would allow us to get so much, get a percentage of a purchase that was made off a code that we're given. So if we could set this up, we would get a code, share that code with you, and then we would get an affiliate, taste of the purchase. So we'd get so much per purchase, depending on how much, whatever the purchase is. So help us out, help us grow. If you see anything on our website that doesn't have that is in our recommended items list, it's because that's stuff we bought ourselves. We were not given it. We bought it ourselves. We tried it. We liked it. These were items that we were buying anyway. So we decided we'd try them out and give them an honest assessment. And if we liked it, we were going to recommend them. So that's what we did. So, well, there's not a lot of items on there. We got a couple more that we're going to be putting up. Got one, man, I'll tell you what. Partisan has, and I'm sorry that to say it, the Partisan has a machine. Yeah, I don't like it. You can get the bat. I'd have to check, but I cannot imagine that this machine, as big as Partisan is, that Black & Decker would stop making this machine, or they may have renamed it, but it's called Bev, or the Bev. I think it's Bev, just BEV, by Black & Decker. What it does is it takes these same pods, drink pods, and there's the difference between the actual Partisan machine and the Bev is the Partisan machine. You've got you pour your liquor in all the bottles, okay, and it has less space, but you got to take these things and you tip them up and you set them down in the thing, so your liquor is actually sticking bottom up, okay. And you always have one that's dedicated to water, but you have to remove, because there's only four pod bases or on the Bev machine. Why are we in news, this and this, and we're talking about products? I was going to talk about products. It's Friday, whatever. But again, this is not one that's in our recommended items list yet. I want to see if the Bev is still there. And nothing, like I said, not knocking Partisan. Partisan is, my wife and I love Partisan. We're talking about the machine right now. with the partisan machine, it's, again, like I said, there's only 4 bottle pods. They got face down. One's got to be for water. There's always water in all the mix of some sort of certain amount. So, which means you have to swap out a bottle. You got to get an extra bottle, and then you have to swap out a bottle. And it sucks, man. The Bev has 6 spots. Okay, for all the liquor, because all the liquor that all these Bev pods use, or all these partisan pods use, is tequila, whiskey, rum, gin, tequila, whiskey, rum, and vodka. 5. That's it. Vodka, gin, whiskey, rum, tequila. 5. Plus the water. So there's 6 on the Bev drink machine. There is 6, and they stand up. You just have the things, you put them right in the siphoners, right into the bottle with it's got a cork down, like a sealer on the straw that sucks, and you put it in, and it locks down on the machine. So your bottles can pretty much stay there. I never did. I always pulled it, when I was done, I always pulled it apart, cleaned it up, blah, 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 put everything away. Shut my bottles. I didn't leave them like that. I'm sure probably a lot of people do, or some people actually will finish it in a weekend, possibly, so they just leave it for the weekend. Who knows? I don't know. I can just tell you what I did. My wife and I would do. But then there's a glass bottle that comes with it that's for water. So for the ones that are going, well, you counted 5. You said it's got 6 spots, because one is for that water bottle. Okay, one is for that water bottle, dedicated to that water bottle. Okay. There's a lineup where each bottle goes. Okay. There's a lineup for each bottle. So you got rum goes in one, tequila goes in another, and it has a spot to go. Why? Because when the pod goes in, you close the thing, it hits start, it reads this barcode on the pod, on the drink pod, the mixer pod. Okay. So if you do not have your liquor in the right spot, what's going to happen is, oh my God, it's going to actually draw the wrong liquor. So if you got tequila where rum's supposed to be, you're going to get tequila. If your drink doesn't require tequila, it's going to have tequila in it instead of the rum. So, important. I also got the Partisan bar mix bar book. So it tells you, mine's probably out of date now because they've added some more. On the pods, there is a shelf life. I found that out the hard way. I had a bunch of pods, and my wife and I don't drink a lot, so I'm figuring, I got these things, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they got a shelf life. So I ended up having to throw out a whole boatload of pods, which really sucked, because that was probably $250 worth of pods. That I'm guessing actually maybe probably end up being more if I actually counted how many boxes it was that I had accumulated over a period of a few months that I ended up having to basically throw most of them out. So they do have a shelf life. So only order what you're going to actually be able to use within the time frame of the expiration date. I mean, it's only like a matter. I think maybe 6 months might be the expiration date on it. 6 months to a year, maybe. I can't remember which. Some of them are have juice in them. So that's what you got to remember. Take into account is what these pods are perishable. So they're mixers. So definitely, I recommend if you've ever had the Bartizan pods, do not waste your money on the Bartizan machine itself. Black & Decker, like I said, I'm going to see if they still got the Bev or they've upgraded it, and have a different one or whatnot. And we'll get that up there because it's going to be. I can't imagine that they stop making the Bev because it's a great machine. It's less money, and I think it's just overall superior to Bartizan's machine itself. I was going to get the Bartizan machine originally, and I started reading the reviews actually on the machine, and they talked about the leaking, because the bottles are actually upside down in the machine, leaking, things like that. The hassle of having to switch the bottles around, depending on what pod you're putting in. There was a whole gamut of. So, I mean, people love the machine as far as mixing, but it was stuff that just are inconveniences, like the leaking. Nobody wants a machine that leaks. They're having to switch the bottles around, items like that. And those are inconveniences. If a product is inconvenient, what you're going to do is you're going to stop buying the product altogether in general. You've already got the machine. The machine leaks. You're inconvenient. You're trying to move bot mixers around, your liquors around, and it's. Hey man, when you're drinking, you're partying, you're having a good time, man. You don't want to be inconvenienced like that. That's where the Bev comes in handy. If you have the Bev, you're having a gathering, get together. The only thing you've got to worry about and look for is that your liquor, your booze, and your water are at the levels they need to be at. Not whether they're leaking or not, because they're standing up. And you're using the actual liquor bottle. So all you got to do is hit the release for the siphoner, pull it out, pull the siphoner out of the bottle, open up a new bottle, put the siphoner in the new bottle, put it back on the machine, lock for the siphoner back down. So it locks it in place. Bing, bang, boom. That don't get any easier than that, man. It really doesn't. So, I don't know. So I gotta run some flush mine actually and go through mine, because after we had the fire in the kitchen, I don't know if it got, it was in my my laundry room actually, but that room got pretty smoked out, went right upstairs. So I'm gonna check in and see if I'm gonna have to replace the machine, or actually replace the siphoners. Siphoners are stainless steel themselves, but they have rubber on them, rubber at the base of the siphoner. They have rubber boot to seal the bottle, like a corks, like a rubber stop. And there's a rubber at the top where it locks out the siphoner, where it locks in. So, plus whatever smoke actually got into the machine. So we got to check that out. So we're gonna see. So check out the Bev if you want. If you want to get in you're thinking about Bartisan drink pods. Check out the Bev. Get the Bev. Look it up. If you go into Amazon, you type in Bev, Black and Decker Bev. It should come up. And if you compare the price of the Bartisan drink machine versus the Bev, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'll definitely get this one versus that one. It's an overall better quality machine in my opinion. No, I'm not. I mean, you're a booze hound. Listen, I haven't drank yet. That's why I ended up having to throw so many boxes of pods away because we just I got in this thing where different holiday pods like Halloween and Christmas and just your general drink pods. Lots of great drinks. And I got a little crazy. My wife's like, you went a little crazy on those, huh, didn't you? And I'm like, yeah, but they're okay. And then we were going to have some drinks, and I'm like, I have to look at, and I'm like, well, those guys don't look right. And it was like almost over a year later. So we hadn't touched it in over a year. And I'm like, oh crap, these things got an expiration date on them. So yeah, we ended up having to. That was a lot of money down the toity. So yeah, keep that in mind. Only order what you think you're gonna. I think it's like six or eight pods in a box. So only order what you think you can drink, what you're gonna actually use up in that time frame. Maybe get 4 boxes. Okay, of 4 different ones. So yeah, I'm gonna have to flush mine and see where we're at. The booze is fine. I mean, you're all right. We're all right with that. None of the booze that we have is anything that's gonna generally go bad on you. So we had those in a container actually, so they're not out in the open, so they didn't get covered with anything. They thankfully. So we spent this episode actually talking about a single product, one product that we don't even have on our website yet as a recommended item, but I'm gonna have to put that up there. Coming into the holiday, you're coming into Christmas. If you did it now, listen, if you ordered now, you could actually probably have your pods and your Bev, because you can get everything you need off Amazon, believe it or not. You can get the Bev, the Bartisan pods, and the Bev machine right on Amazon. I was almost always ordering my pods directly through Bartisan, but you can get them off Amazon. But I think if you ordered today or this weekend, I can guarantee that you could probably. The nice thing with Amazon is to tell you when you should expect to get it. But I could almost guarantee you'd be able to have it by Thanksgiving if you ordered this by Monday. That you'd have it by Thanksgiving and the pods by Thanksgiving probably. So if you want to think about it and do it, check out Amazon for both the pods and the machine, the Black and Decker Bev machine. You can't go wrong. I've already told you what booze goes in it. Great gift if you know somebody that drinks and entertains. Again, it's a great gift. Get them the pods for drinks that they may like the most, and the machine, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Bust that sucker out. Let's get drinking. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get that up on there. But I'll definitely have to flush my machine, check my machine, see if it's smoky and smell and flavor of the. I'm not gonna use. I'm just gonna run water. Um, why are you gonna run water? Because I think I have old pods that I can actually out of date pods. I think I found a box I can use it to flush. No, I'm wasting it. You're wasting it. Yeah, I'm wasting it. Who cares? Um, reason being is we want to flush. We want to flush the system, right? We want to flush the system and try to keep everything going. Actually, there's a rinse cycle on this thing, so I don't even have to use the pods. See, that's how long it's been since I used it. I forgot I had a rinsing cycle. So I just got to make. Why do you use water? Because I want to see if it's got a smell to it. I want to see if how many times if I run it, if that smell will diminish, go away. Because who wants to get a drink and have it, unless it's supposed to be smoky? It's meant to be smoky. But you don't want to be doing that when from a fire, smoky from fire. House fire. Some carcinogens in there. I had to get air purifiers and everything in there. My wife, I go because we had no other place to go, so we had to say that we're like trying to clean everything. And I looked at her. I said, "Well, if we're gonna die from cancer, it's gonna be from this." The carcinogens and everything. I mean, it really was. It was. I had to fix a wall. Soot on the all over the place. I mean, literally all over the place. We have a small house, so it doesn't take long for smoke to just end up everywhere. But either way, it sucks. It's smoke. It was a mixer, brand new mixer in a box. I put it on my Samsung smart stove. Had the air fryer and all this. Samsung had an issue with the knobs on the front. Okay, on the ones that had the front knobs all the way out. I had one that had the back, had a knob. Well, they would do the same thing. You could bump them and turn the burners on. And I think that's what happened. When I pushed the box back on the burner, I went out to my shed to look for something. I wanted to replace an outlet in the kitchen. I went out to grab it 15 minutes. And then I start hearing smoke alarms. I'm like, what the hell? Where's the smoke's coming from? And I freaking looking around, finally realized I see that it's smoke coming out of my house. And luckily I caught it. Yes, it caused a lot of damage. I had to replace a wall. Had to open the wall up, replace the sheetrock. There was only so much I was doing, which was I was only going so far. My wife wasn't, she had her way. We would have just ripped the whole kitchen apart and redid the whole kitchen. But we just didn't. One, don't have the money for that. Two, don't have the time for it. So you do what you can do, in the time and the finances allotted. So little by little, we'll get. My wife will get what she wants. She's going to pay for it, though. This is why I said hopefully we don't end up in a divorce. Because I'm dumping all kinds of money into this. And she doesn't, I don't think, she's not happy about it. So she wants her kitchen. So little by little, we're getting the stuff that we need. They'll stocking it up. Piece by piece by piece. And then we'll just go right through and do it. So sometimes that's what you have to do. So this Bart is a machine, this Bev, great machine. And hopefully, like I said, I can get it all rinsed out, flushed out. and working, smelling like new. If not, then I'll just have to get a new one. So, hopefully she don't know it. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna bust out. Again, try out the Bev. Get some Bartisan drink pods. Try out, get the Bev by Black and Decker. Get your booze. 'Tis the season. You got, like I said, Thanksgiving coming really, really super fast. So if you're gonna do it now. Jump on Amazon, grab those, and then you can go in and after the fact go over to Bartisan, go into their drink pods selections. They got all kinds of different ones. I think the price is going to be the same whether it's on Amazon or it's on Bartisan. But I think sometimes you'll find things on Bartisan's website that you won't find on their store, their Amazon store. So get over there, check it out. Get your machine, get a friend a machine, especially ones that like to party, because it's going to benefit you. Bring your own pods, So, hey, check it out. So, all right, guys. Again, before I head out of here, let's get those views up. Help us get those views up on Rumble. Go over to our website. So if you're on Facebook, X or Truth, share. Help us get those views up. Follow, subscribe, sign up for a free Rumble account. We have a paid Rumble account because it gives us more storage. So if you want to try your hand at content creation, you may be really good at it. You might be able to take right off. Who knows? You got to go through, set it up, set up a channel. Make sure you go through all the settings, make sure it's set up, so you can that you want to monetize or whatnot. Or just try, see if you can start growing some. I set it up. If I were you, and you're going to set it up, I would set it up to monetize right out of the gate, because if you start doing good and you start jamming, you could probably just later on go in and just get more storage space, or you're happy running it with the minimum storage space that's provided through a free account. Hey, good for you too. But I can't remember whether you have to have a paid account to monetize or not. So you can check that out. Again, there's lots of great content on Rumble. Doesn't make you jump through hoops to monetize like YouTube and all these other ones do. So on YouTube, go over to Rumble, man. Find us on Rumble. Hit our Facebook page. So at the end, the website and the email there, I believe I gotta check. I believe we might have our Rumble channel listed on there. So hit us in the email either way. If you're on YouTube and you can't find our Rumble channel, hit us in the email, and we'll do is we'll send you the link for the Rumble channel, for our Rumble channel. So on YouTube, share, but start migrating to Rumble. Okay. I know they're gonna Rumble. YouTube finds out, they're gonna get mad, right? Telling people to go to YouTube or to Rumble. So Facebook, X, Truth, share, and go to Rumble. Sign up for that free Rumble account. Hit the website and email. Pop over to the website. 2 ways to support us. What we're trying to do on our website. Bottom of the homepage is crowdfunding box. Top of all the pages on the website, there's a hosting gift box. Listen, all I want to do, what my goal is get it so the Patriot View, 1A Independent News, is actually generating to actually pay for itself. So I'm not paying for it, all out of my pocket. So, if you want to help us out through the crowdfunding, but all we're asking is help us get our views up to where they need to be, so it's self-generating, is all we're asking. But if you want to help us out, more than the crowdfunding on the bottom of the homepage on the website, or the hosting gift boxes on the top of all the pages on the website is a great way to support what we're trying to do and say, hey, you know what, we get you, we understand what your goals are, what you're trying to do. We might not always agree with the content, but we understand it. And somebody that's just tired of censorship and, you know, the lack of transparency and, you know, all government across the board, and our constitutional rights being trampled daily. And I call it out the way I see it. That's why it's called Patriot View. You know, 1A Independent News came about because I was censored by Facebook, my original Facebook account from back when Facebook literally started. I was deleted. My whole account was deleted. All I had on there was religious and pro Trump material on there. Said I violated community standards. Would not tell me what the community standards were that were violated, but they deleted my account. I had never been my account restricted or suspended or anything in all those years. And this was during in and around the first Trump administration. I violated community standards, so I was deleted. So that's when it came about that 1A Independent News. And then I started, hey, why don't we do podcasts or video podcasts? We'll call it Patriot View. So there's the little backstory on it. Censored, and told basically to piss off. So help us out. Help us get those views up. Help us, like I said, if you want to help us on the website, bottom of the homepage, there's a crowdfunding box. Top of all the pages on the website, there's a little gift box. And like I said, that doesn't go to us. It goes to our hosting provider, credits our hosting account. Again, we do not have any sponsors. These are items that we recommend only. There's a disclaimer in the description of each one, says not a sponsor. If anything changes with the relationship between that item and ourselves, we will remove not a sponsor and put the appropriate relationship in. If you see a piece on our website that does not have a name, it's ours. We will not, if you send us something, we will not take credit for it. So it's going to have, it must have a first name or pseudonym, state and location, not a physical address. State and location so we can see we're reaching out. Others can see we're reaching out. If you're sending us something, make sure you run it through a grammar editor. We're not grammar police. Let's make sure it's twisted and tight, and people can really get behind it and understand exactly what you're trying to say. Doesn't matter whether you're from the left, you're from the right. People got to understand what you're trying to say. Okay, we can't, you know. People on the right are more apt to say if somebody on the left has a very good point for us to go, you know what, hey, I get it. I can see your point. Where the left's tendencies are to, it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter whether your point is good or not. We're not going to agree with it because it's not our point. It's yours. And you are on the right. We're on the left. So we on the left are not going to agree with you and see the validness of your point, because it's not ours. It's not what we believe. We're not going to say, okay, we get it. You know, you got a valid point right there. They will never do that. Conservatives are almost always more likely to sit there and go, you know what, you got a good point. I can see your point. That's a valid point. I'm sorry, agree with me or not, we're more open-minded. I'm not saying everybody on the left is like that. I'm just saying it just seems to be the majority by statistics, by what we witness. So, but yeah, there's definitely some. So if you're even somebody on the left that's got a good valid point, a good valid argument for something, yes, you're more than welcome to send it to us and we'll take a look at it. As long as it meets every bit of criteria that we have just for everybody, it's going to be for the same for everybody. We'll go ahead and we'll put it up there for you, because you don't want to put it on your social media because you're afraid. Listen, even people from the left get attacked by liberals if they don't agree with them. It just happens. So I can understand where even somebody on the left would want to sit there, would want to possibly send us something so they don't have, so they can get it out there and not have their name plastered all over it for people to screenshot them and figure out who they are and dox them and stuff like that. You know, some little bit of swatting maybe. You know, who knows? So, okay. If you quote anything, make sure it's in quotations. Anything you're using as a source or a reference, you're not quoting them, but you're using them to support what you're saying. In brackets for that. Sources and references go in brackets. Name of the website minus the .com, .net, .org, .net, no dot nothing. Just the name of the website minus the dot anything. Title if there is one. Okay, all in brackets. This part is for goes for both the quotes and the references. Copy and paste that. Index the address at the top of your browser, out of the address bar at the top of your browser. Okay, you're going to copy that address. For quotes, you're going to paste it directly above or directly below the quote. For references or sources, you're going to paste it in the brackets with the name of the website and the title of the piece if there is one. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to hyperlink the address into the actual text, changing the text a different color, indicating that it's clickable. People click on it, goes directly to the page on the website that you drew that quote from, or your reference or sources on to support what you're saying. Okay, if you know how to hyperlink ahead of time, so that way all we got to do is go in and verify it. Boom, bing, bang, boom, we're done. Okay. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty straight, simple, forward. We are not doing any crazy and outlandish by anybody. If it's crazy and outlandish, and it makes us go tip our head and go, what are they talking about? That doesn't even make sense. And we have to start researching it to find validity in it. We just don't have time for that. So it cannot be crazy and outlandish. So when we read it, we got to be able to say, yep, I can definitely get behind that. That definitely makes sense. I can do a quick reference and boom, it comes up. I mean, if it just, we're supposed to be able to have our own freedom of thought and, yeah, yes, but it can't be crazy and outlandish is what I'm saying. Okay, if people can't get behind what you're trying to say, then that's an issue. Okay, I mean, people on the extreme left will get behind anything. It doesn't have to make sense. It can be a complete and utter lie, and they'll get behind it if it's coming from the alt left. So there's our things. There's our guidelines. Again, we will not take credit for your piece. Must have first name or pseudonym, state and location, not a physical address. State and location so we can see we're reaching out. Others can see we're reaching out. So like Scooter from San Bernardino, California, or Sarah from Boston, Massachusetts. Simple, straightforward, non-identifying. The only one that's going to know it's you is you, and whoever else you tell it's you. So again, help us get our views up on Rumble. Help grow YouTube, and hopefully some people start running from YouTube over to Rumble. Share the crap out of each episode on Rumble, Facebook, or X, or Facebook, Rumble, or X. Sorry, but then go to do the same thing over on Rumble. Follow, subscribe, sign up for that free Rumble account. Try it out for yourself. Pop over to the website. Again, website and email. Pop over to the website. You can help us with the crowdfunding on the bottom of the homepage. Hosting, gift boxes at the top of all the pages. Try out those items we recommend. We're going to work on getting the Bartisan, or the Bev machine Bartisan, up on the recommended items. Hopefully at some point we get a sponsor with one of these. We need to grow. Help us out. And again, really want to thank everybody that, no matter how you try to support us, whether it be the views or whatever, we greatly appreciate it. We greatly appreciate you, and we thank you. So, again, have a great weekend. And, we really want to thank you for joining us for this episode of Patriot View at 1A Independent News. And as always, send us what you got and to our email. And until next time, as always, stay frosty, my friends.
You just heard Patriot View
at 1A Independent News
with Bear Direct. Join us on Rumble at 1A Independent News for our daily broadcast.